Well, how about uh, a brief break to brand and talk about Anarchino?
Okay, I can. Ah, I can find this. Here's this one. I like this one a lot. All right, so Anacino is once upon a time these three fancy guys got together and decided they were going to have a talk in person on the stage and stuff, and they did it in Thunder Bay, and then they decided they were going to do it again in Chino, California. And since I couldn't go to the one in Thunder Bay because they had this thing where if you want to cross this line, you have to let somebody else stick their mRNA inside you. Um, I didn't go to that one, but since this one is outside of that restriction, I decided to make it. And when I decided to go, it was like, the tickets are this much money, and and someone offered to incentivize my attendance. And in exchange for the incentive of the ticket being purchased, I was placed in charge of the camping lodging arrangements for the event, which meant that I would be camping for 5 days in California. And I thought, that's special too. And since I am, let's say, not as reverent as most of the rest of the event, I decided that the camping thing could be a gathering of the irreverent that has its own special function, and that's when camping for the Estuary Chino event became Anachino 23.
Makes sense. That would be about 6 hour drive from where I was living in Etna, California, which is somewhere west of Mount Shasta. But I
Yes, 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 lunch. It absolutely is. Welcome, welcome, everybody. No, this is an after party Thyme Lounge stream. The Thyme Lounge should be accessible to anybody who wants to lounge with me at the link pinned at the top of the YouTube chat. I don't know if anybody's gonna. People tend to cringe and not use it. And there's been a rudeness and arrogance accusation tossed at me by our beloved Eve. And so maybe it's that, but it is open if anybody wants to come brave the after party. Um, that was a convenient promo to run at the front. I thought, but we did just watch it. If you haven't seen it, here's more. Here's the bit. Here's the
I've
bit.
recently
Chad's supposed to be there.
Oh,
Oh, I've decided. I guess the Anacino bit is still long. Hey, it is Santa Claus. No, it's Dr. Lenny time. He's right there, the socialist and that one fella. Speaking of which, let's give you the savings throws for these live streams. Welcome, Dust to Dust. Hey, Patty J was showing up around. Maybe he'll show up today. Who knows? Who knows? Synchronicity and possibility. That's the part of the Lenny show I'm going to get to in just a moment. Look, everybody, it's guest star and Buddy the Cat. You get to choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. If it's over 10, then you get half damage from the mind control that follows for the rest of the show and the rest of your life. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. Humans are very suggestible and susceptible creatures, and it's not your fault. Choose! Survivalists. 7. 7. You can almost make it if you get your bonuses. Socialists. You got the sense 8 today. The sense 8. Wisdom, lovers, Sophia, friends. 5 of you, just like in the OA. And heart folks, you are prime at 17. As far as I know, 17 is a prime, right? I'm not getting that wrong over and over and over and over. Indigo friends. My indigo friends. Oh, well. You for my indigo friends, this was called back into my memory. This was called back into my memory. So let's see what it was about, because I certainly don't remember.
To an empire, which encouraged children to never grow up and told adults they
That's the voice of that Grace person.
never had to leave. Unlike the kingdoms of old, this territory didn't require a dangerous and grueling pilgrimage for a chance to enter its gates. This empire was accessed through the mind. As the decades passed, the night seemed longer as the looming shadow blanketed generations, societies, and nations. And alongside it, the magical Happy Kingdom found its way into every television, onto nursery walls, and within classrooms. Most thought nothing of it, and who could blame them? They'd never been outside the paddock, distracted.
I've been studying Buddhism, and any Buddhists out there, if I fuck this up, I'm sorry if you're more advanced or know more about it. So I'm probably gonna say the words wrong and stuff. It's really interesting. So it's like there's like 8 consciousnesses. I think it's 8, and the 6th one is your thought, the continuum of thoughts, right? So that's like where most people hang out, and they think that's who they are, is the infinite cycle of repeating thoughts in their head. So
I'm reacting. This is a reaction video. Oh!
below that is your senses, and then the one right above that is the 7th, and that's what is considered your subconscious in the West. But so that's where all your memories are. That's where all your just all the shit you can't remember that happened to you that stuck back there, that appears in people's art or appears in your neurosis or whatever. And then above that is the 8th consciousness, and that's the stored experience of all human beings, and it's happening. It's like the global mind, or it's
the Akashic records.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Akashic records. Yeah, and so basically that one drips down like water in a cave. It drips down into your subconscious, which drips down into your thoughts.
It's not anything special, just Akashic drippings.
So when you're having these thoughts, according to this model, it's not necessarily your thoughts. You're getting a kind of distillate that's rolling down through the global mind, being flavored by your subconscious, and then being flavored by your identity or who you think you are. And then so by the time it comes out of you, it's got you wrapped up inside of it. But
someone might say we're wasting our time. Not me, of course.
His Majesty the Jedi.
This bit here is the part that was actually brought to mind and made me reference the whole thing. For this part right here.
Will indulge me.
Why would today be any different?
We have discovered that between each of the 8 known rays, there exists a binding force. A shadow light, if you will. When we...
That Grace part, with the Disney part is relevant because what you're seeing now was produced by them at great cost to themselves and poor critical review, and is known as John Carter.
We attempt to separate these rays, and intense resistance occurs, exposing this hidden 9th ray. Look in between. Look for a glow of blue.
Transcendence. I always say within every human being, there is a treasury, and this treasury is the transcendent. It's a field, an eternal field of pure, unbounded consciousness. And it being eternal has always and forever been there, underlying the whole field of relativity, deep within each one of us. Never had a beginning, it's there now, and it will be there forever.
The field of relativity might be about how you relate.
12 years in the past, Brandon decide path of the eclipse.
The last eclipse across the United States in a place called Bosquedel, Illinois. And so I have every intention of being where the eclipse path crosses the last eclipse path in April of 24.
Yeah, I was less than 60 miles away from the path of the eclipse the last time, and a number of my good friends drove north to catch the path of the eclipse, but I didn't decide to go with them because of other things going on at the time.
Well, not every eclipse is for everyone.
That, and when you're a hermit, dealing with people, even if they're friendlies, is not something you actually want to intentionally do. There's enough time in unintentionally doing it. And our life is based on serendipity and possibility. So if you keep motivated by understanding that if your thoughts are good, good things.
Our life is something serendipity and possibility, and I'm late for my French encounter with Van Donk, as he's been so kind as to illustrate by attending this particular after-party live stream. I am now joining his Zoom and leaving this stream. Thank you all for being here. Here's some delicious branding.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best. Yeah.